Hello, moment friends! Ending here for another episode of March of the King. When we last left off, we were exploring all these abandoned ranger places, and we have found yet another. And this one seems to have had some bad stuff happen. As you can see, there are some dead rangers here, all strewn about. So let's see here. While exploring Torngroth, you have discovered an ornate brooch in the abandoned ranger hideout. It is unclear to whom the brooch belongs, or if they yet live, but perhaps it would be best to deliver it to the rangers at Rhûn. Alright. That is incredibly sad. This place has been wrecked. And I guess the brooch is right there. Dang. The brooch is dusty and worn, but its beauty remains unblemished. Well, that's good. What is back in here? There's a whole cave network through here. This is awesome. Aside from, you know, the dead rangers. Oh, there's orcs back here. Fighting side by side of Bjorning. Best thing ever. Alright. Well, that seems to be all of them. Let's make our way on back out. You become aware that Gimli has been trying to capture your attention after placing down the ranger supplies.
The soldiers that came with us have become increasingly troubled.
They will have become increasingly more and more troubled as the day wore on. I have given some thought to how I might ease their minds, but my skill is with axes, not with speechcraft. Perhaps you can do something to ease their worries, Andeng.
If we do not seek victory, why then must we throw our lives away?
Andeng, I am a man of Rohan, and will do as Aemir King commands, but my resolve is tested with every step towards the Black Gate of Mordor. Is it true that our commanders do not hope to achieve victory through battle? Why then must we throw our lives away? I would do anything for the mark, and gladly. But would it not be better to take these soldiers and man a strong defense at Minas Tirith? There are strongholds in Rohan at which we could last for years if need be. I fought at the Hornburg and am well tested by the battle that was fought there. An unnatural dread seizes my heart, but there is more to this than fear. I cannot believe that Aemir King or King Elisar of Gondor would so easily throw their lives away, and ours with them. How can this be their choice, Sandang? Othrith's courage falls, and he looks to you for reassurance.
I will die for Gondor if I must, but I do not want to die needlessly.
I'm no coward, Andeng, but I have to ask if there is any wisdom in the march to Mordor. I would serve King Elisar in all things, and do whatever he commands. But I fear that he does not know what it is he asks of us. I thought his host was a goodly size when we marched through Osgiliath, but now that we have crossed into the wild, I see that it is smaller than I thought at first. It can be no match for the armies of Mordor. I will die for Gondor, if I must for Gondor to survive. But I do not want to lay down my life needlessly. If this march is folly, as I deem it to be, how can it be the king's command? How will 6,000 fallen soldiers at the Black Gate save Gondor? It cannot. It cannot. Maegor's courage fails, and he looks to you for reassurance. But you fail them both and decide to just walk away awkwardly, on to the next quest.
The earth has reclaimed the deeds of men and orc, fair or foul.
If we are so fortunate, these orcs in Kuladar shall return to their masters with news of terrible, unseen things lurking in Ithilien. Regardless of our true strength, our company shall appear to be innumerable, and ever watching. You have done well, my friend. What have you to report, Andeng? You inform Mablung of the massive size of the spiders in Thurnrath, and the relatively untouched state of Abaddon. and your suspicion that orcs have claimed Torgroth. I see. I shall send my rangers to Abdabdolan at once. If we can reclaim one of our northern refuges, it shall aid us greatly in keeping the enemy from crossing into Ithilien from Daggerland. However, to have spiders and orcs lurking within our lost refuges is another matter. The loss of Torngroth was a tremendous blow to our company, and I would see it return to us. We do not have the time to reclaim them now, but I shall have my scouts keep a careful watch on both Torngroth and Thurndath. While I'm glad you have driven them from Turndath, I worry that their presence in Ithilien could portend. Long have rumors passed among my men of a great spider living in the heights of Efeldrath, but the tale is so old and so unthinkable. You have travelled to the forests of Mirkwood, have you not? Could such a creature lurk beyond our sight? Oh, yeah. Undone. The time has come to begin our efforts to reclaim Torngroth. Through your initial scouting and a bit of our own, we have discovered that a company of orcs have seized the refuge and laid claim to many of the supplies that were left behind when we were forced to abandon it. We cannot let this stand. Even if the orcs were to return after we wrought them, those supplies are of great import to the efforts of Ithilien and the Wastes. Travel to Torngroth and defeat all the orcs you encounter. Once their forces are broken, claim as many supplies as you can and return to me. Go sleuthing, my friend. Be careful. And then, I've received a troubling report from my ranger Tordron. He sent word that the Kulandar have laid traps along the roadway through Kirith Nagin. Mere traps could not stop the host of the West, but I fear that they may soon devise a greater scheme to hinder our allies. The pass provides swift passage to the north, but it is narrow, and any that pass through it must fear an ambush. I would ask that you scout Kirith Nagin, and destroy any traps you find. If the Kulandar are still trapping that place, you must defeat them as well. Nothing can be left to chance, my friend, especially now that the enemy has suffered his greatest defeat in recent memory. When that is done, seek Toradon, and aid him as you may. He has scouted the pass of Kirith Nagin, and now searches to the north reaches of Ithilien for the enemy's encampment.
We will purge these lands yet.
I know this birch, my friend. It belonged to my brother, and at last his fate is clear to me. Although the Rangers held the refuge for many years, the enemy discovered the location of Torngroth, and were forced to battle our way out. In our fight, we became separated, and he never made it to Hinethanoon. I've mourned him ever since, but now I wonder, what drew him back to Torngroth? Well, that is a matter for another time. I shall keep his brooch close. Thank you, Andang. You have my thanks. Do you remember the trolls you found in the wilds of Ithilien, Andang? The ones that had turned to stone. Some of our company have since returned to the sites where you discovered them, and they all appear to have encouraged the growth of peculiar moss upon them. We harvested a small amount and were able to extract it into a healing salve. It is unlike any of the mosses we have encountered in Ithilien. Could a troll from the dead city truly have given way to something helpful to my kinsmen? Seek out the stone-touched trolls, my friend, and scrape the moss from them. Do not harvest it all, for I am certain we shall have further use for it in the coming days. With all the seeds we have gathered recently, it has become of great import that we see them planted as soon as we are able. The enemy's forces have been routed for the moment, but we must seize this opportunity. Here, my friend, take these seeds and patrol the lands surrounding Hinethanoon and the old ruins of Ithilien. It is there you shall find the most fertile soil, and it is there that these seeds should be planted. Go with haste, and we shall speak again soon.
What did you learn at Bartanaher, my friend?
You tell Aragorn that Nazgul fly high above the clouds and out of sight, but they are keeping pace with the host. You tell him too that their fearful presence and the nature of the mission itself is having an effect upon his soldiers, sapping them of their courage. I have noticed this as well, Endeng. I cannot blame these men if their hearts quail at the thought of this painful mission. I will not willingly command them to throw their lives away for the merest of chances, though I know how important that chance may be. Find soldiers here at Noon, and see if you can reassure them. Alright. Time for some soldier therapy.
Thank you for your efforts, my friend.
I've given some thought to the problem of what to do if more men prove faint of heart as we approach Mordor. It will soon be put to the test, I think. Let us move forward along the road north to the border of Daggerlad. We shall establish a camp at the wood's edge, and make ready for the final leg of the march to Mordor. I will speak with you at our camp on the border of Daggerlad when we arrive.
Faith alone will not stop the enemy.
Ah, Andeng, you have come. You have made the roadway safe for our allies, but I fear the Condolar will not be so easily deterred. They have made camps along the slopes of Duath, and have readied the defences. Their numbers are many, even with so many of their forces spread across the northern wilds of Ithilien. We must strike soon, or it shall become all but impossible to drive them out. In my scouting, I have listened secretly to passers-by and have heard them referring to the camp in their tongue as Oya Hajum. To assail it shall be no easy task. The Condolar encampment is well defended by their soldiers, and they have armed themselves with trebuchets. I have not been able to discern how far their encampment stretches into the slopes of the Mountains of Shadow, but the pass they have claimed is of considerable length, and shall be an arduous course. To ensure the Condolar can no longer pose a threat to Ithilien and the host of the West, we must thin their numbers, disintegrate their siege weaponry, and destroy their supplies. Tordaron cracks a wry smile. I would trust no other among us but you with this task, Andeng. Very well. As best I can surmise, the Condolar have not yet discovered their chance fortune in making camp alongside those slopes of the Mountains of Shadow. You see, when my fellow rangers and I scouted the road into Daggerlad, we often used those hills as a perch from which to observe the enemy's movements. However, it is far from our refuge, and a long journey to food and shelter alike. We took to hiding caches of supplies and wrapped rations beneath the soil that the Condolar have now claimed as their own. While some are safe beyond their encampment's entrance, the rest are surely buried just beneath their feet. We have a great need of those caches, and to have them in the hands of the enemy would only prolong their invasion of Ithilien. When you come to their camp, keep an eye for our hidden caches, and return with as many as you are able to recover, which is apparently 8. Go now, Andeng. Oh look, some disturbed earth over here. Wonder what that could be. You discovered nothing of importance beneath the disturbed earth. Okay, apparently nothing. Alright. You defeated many of the enemy's forces in North Ithilien, and made clear the way for the host of the West. While their numbers will likely return in time, you have routed them for the moment. Well, that's comforting. Well, there's your problem. Alright. Alright, here we are, the final 2 trebuchets. Those are so awesome how they break. Can't even go around here yet. There we go. Oh, hello. Let me destroy this first. Thank you. Alright. There we go. Well, I think this is a good place to end this episode. Look at that in the distance. That is Daggerlad, if I'm not mistaken. Dang. There's all kinds of ruins in there. That is really cool. But we will not get closer to that till next time. Thank you everyone so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you again real soon for another episode of March of the King.